Hey y'all, so I obviously did a pick a pile for you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that pile 3, your reading does kind of cut maybe a minute before I was actually done talking, so I I was not able to get you that minute back, like stitch it or whatever. It just didn't survive. But it's just a minute. It's missing like a minute. It's really not much. We had done your reading part 3, covered everything we need to cover. I was literally probably just chatting by then, emphasizing some points, but the gist of the story is there. Okay, I just didn't want you to be surprised when all of a sudden it like just ends. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know. Cool, I hope you guys are good and I hope the readings resonate. Later. Hey y'all, welcome to the channel that brings you multi-dimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expansive point of view and that they're not for a specific time but should resonate with you whenever you come across them. So I have a pick a pile reading for you guys today, and it's all behind the Akashics. The Akashic is a record of the being as a sentient being, which means a being that can process information, basically. It's like a record of all the processed information there is. So I know that a lot of people think of Akashic readings as like past life readings or past life regression. You can think of it that way, that's fine. I invite you to expand your perception of Akashic readings to also understand that because time isn't actually linear, the Akashics include memories of the future. If that's a new concept to you, welcome. If this is the first time you're hearing about people remembering the future, I think you'll feel now that I'm saying it that actually within yourself, it's a familiar concept. I don't really want to get too much into explanation, but Akashic has to do more with timelines. Timelines don't really have a reference to past or future. It's just the way we navigate time and space. It might not be how we say we navigate time and space, but it is how we navigate time and space through timelines, which involves that which is universally known to have happened and also includes that which can happen, right? I don't know if like that's making sense to you. I hope it is. So why do people do Akashic readings? It's because different timelines or who we were in different timelines is, funny enough, a bit of that carries on to our current life. So a bit of that is who we are. Some of you might find that you're maybe examples, you're afraid of large masses of water, like you're afraid of the ocean and you don't know why. Or, carrots give you the heebie-jeebies and you don't know why. Maybe you didn't need the vegan movement to not eat meat. You were just not interested in that shit. And you don't know why, only to find, when I say you don't know why, I mean you don't have a strong like reason in this life as to why you feel that way, and only to find that, you're scared of large masses of water because maybe someone that you really cared about like lost their life by drowning in a past life, right? And that's why you get really nervous when you see people swimming. That's just a quick example, but yeah, basically I'm trying to show you why is it that someone would do an Akashic reading, right? Why would someone would invest in an Akashic reading? So let's get into our piles. We've got pile 1, which is a clear quartz. Clear quartz are used in spirituality for clearing of your space. It's like if you're a reader, I think in general, to be honest, it doesn't matter what you are. Even if you work a 9 to 5, you must understand you get into a workspace and obviously people have all these energies and whatever. And to come home to a room with like crystals, like clear quartz will just help you like cleanse off the day. Clear quartz is also used for navigation within the spiritual world to navigate time and space more precisely. So if you need something from the characteristics which make you up, right? But you don't have access to it right now. Like you want to be a great musician or whatever. Like clear quartz can help you align with timelines where you were a great musician and kind of pull that power into this lifetime. And then we've got the Swiss knife. This was a gift from my dad. I love it just because that's me. uh Victorinox, Switzerland, stainless, rust. I don't even know what the fuck, but anyway, we've got a Swiss knife here. Okay, cool. That's our pile two. And then this is organic essential oil. It's tea tree oil. I live by this. I love it. It's good for cleansing and it's also good for grounding. Like, you know, sometimes when you receive downloads, right, from whether it's your star seeds, your orishas, or whatever, it kind of shocks your body type of thing, because a lot of times when we receive downloads, it's information that, like, you know, the reason why it's coming as a download is because no one alive would have been able to give you the information. It's normally quite new even. So I use tea tree oil in order to help me ground. It takes care of my ascension symptoms. Also, it just helps my body calibrate with my mental space, right? And my emotional space, basically. Especially when something new has come into our field. Some of you might get ascension symptoms like flu, or you might get like vaginal thrush symptoms for women. And you might be like, why do I always get this? Why do I always get this? Yes, it's maybe you're sleeping with the wrong people, but also it might just be, if not like full blown thrush, guys, like kind of like symptoms, like the beginning of it. And yeah, then you know, it's kind of ascension symptoms, especially because for women, I don't know, that seems to just be the place where it hits, like when big things in your life are changing, right? So I just put like 3 drops of this in like my bath water and stuff, and it clears out. So yeah, here we go. Here are your 3 piles. I'm gonna give you a chance to pick, and then we can get to it. Okay, to my pile ones, those of you who chose the clear quartz. If you're in South Africa and you're wondering where I get these crystals, I get them from House of Isis in Rosebank. You got the Ace of Water, the 3 of Earth, the Page of Earth. I just want to make sure everything is in the frame. What the? Okay, so let me just pull them like out and then we'll talk about it like just now. Yeah. I'm trying to think, where can I fit these in? Like here? Yeah, let's put them here. Okay. Oh, I kind of like my plants, actually. Okay. So you've got the Ace of Water, the 3 of Earth, the Page of Earth, the Ace of Swords, the 3 of Wands. You've got here the Ace of Wands, the 6 of Swords, the Strength card. You've got the Strength card twice. You've also got it in the Oracle. You've got Loyalty. This is interesting. Peacekeeper, To the Sea, Serendipity, and the King of Wands. I'm going to tell you straight up, people that picked pile 1, you guys in a past life or in another timeline, you know what? This is making me think of that movie, Tenet, right? That's how I'm speaking. And guys, you don't know how hard that movie was for me to understand. Like, I'm sorry, what? And I feel like that's how this maybe might feel for you, which is interesting because you're someone that has secret society affiliations is what I'm getting here, especially with this loyalty, the peacekeeper, the king of wands. You're someone that in the past was part of like a brotherhood of some sort. Yeah, I'm getting like, brother, like a brotherhood of the white lodge, blah blah blah, things like that. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. So you might find that currently in your life you're very interested in the esoteric. Obviously, if you're on this channel, you're very interested in the esoteric, you're very interested in hidden knowledge. And I'm getting though that it's kind of like for personal reasons. I'm not getting that you're a person that's into the, occult. Okay, maybe in this life, yes, you into it because you want to help people, but I'm getting that it's more someone who wants to enrich their own lives more. Do you get what I mean? Like you just want more for yourself. Like you realize that there's more to life than what we're being told out there. And you want to have more knowledge in order to navigate your life better, in order to be a better person to your family, to your friends, to your partner. It's just self-awareness is something that is very important to you. So important that it's kind of attached to who you are, or it's kind of part of your nature now. You even attract certain information. Like maybe ask yourself, how did you find out about this channel? How did the algorithm find you? What were you doing? Like you have a lot of moments that you unknowingly attract to yourself because your love for knowledge and for like hidden knowledge, particularly your desire for that is quite strong. I'm also getting alchemist, so you might, my bad y'all. So you also might have been alchemists in a past life, looking for the philosopher's stone. This is very interesting because it's almost as if you were part of a group that was more than, you were not theoretically aware of this information, you were experientially aware. So honestly, I'm getting, hey, you guys, no, seriously, like you guys that picked Power One, it's like you guys were part of like the Rosicrucians, or what do they call it? The Knights Templar. Or you guys were part of the Knights Templar. And you kind of guarded certain information. Yeah, with the strength cards. So it's not even that like you have an affinity. Like in this life, this may come out as an affinity for this information, but in previous timelines or in other timelines, you're actually like a guardian of certain secret information, getting a group of people that were aware that not everything is for everybody and you need to protect certain information so that other timelines will have access to it. And it's funny because it's as if as a member of the society, whatever it was, you were aware of living through different timelines. You were aware of reincarnation, not as a theory, but as a real thing. The information, the knowledge that you guys had allowed it so that for you guys, stuff like reincarnation, it wasn't a myth. It wasn't like, oh, I wonder what happens when we die. Like, no, you guys, even your team was made up of people who knew, who remembered their past lives. And so immediately like came into this group, this crew, knowing that this is their mission. This is what like they have to do, type of thing. Not only that, but at some point you also do have a timeline where, would I call you a shaman? Not really. Again, it's guardian of information, but here it's kind of in a different way. Teacher. Oh, teacher. Okay, and then in another timeline, I'm getting that you were a teacher of the knowledge, right? Um, oh, you showed people how to live in harmony with nature. You showed people how to incorporate nature into their lives in order to live on a God level, is what I'm hearing. People saw you as someone who is close to the gods or favored by the gods. Like, people felt like that's why you had all this information. You were honored in past lives. Like, you were, yeah, you were honestly seen as like, I'm surprised the Hierophant didn't come out, but oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. So I'm hearing that you were even honored by like chiefs and kings, like that type of thing. Like they trusted your advice. I'm also getting like a Daniel vibe here, someone who used to interpret dreams for important people, and you were very revered. Again, like you'll tell me in the comments like how that connects to your life right now. But yeah, I'm also getting somewhere where like this is part of your family tree. So whatever you're doing now, I'm getting like it's part of a family vibe. Like it's either your grandfather or your grandmother was also into it and they passed down a certain gift to you or something like that. And you're gonna pass this down to your son or your daughter also has whatever gift you have. The gift, either the affinity for information, for knowledge, or the ability even to heal. Some of you are psychiatrists, psychologists. It's very easy for you to map human nature, and you were able to turn that into something where you help people. And this is so interesting. I'm getting like, wow. You would warn people about stuff that's gonna happen before it would happen. So if there's like a flood that's about to happen in the community, or like an earthquake, a volcano erupting, whatever it is, it's like you would warn people, and people respected you, and they would listen to what you're saying, and they would end up saved. So that's why you were revered. Because I'm also getting like you being like dressed like by kings and stuff, like like when they honor you and they like yes, that's why I'm getting Daniel. Because do you guys remember in the story with Nebuchadnezzar when like he asked like the writings on the wall story, and he wanted to know like, can someone like interpret this for him? Is it Daniel that came? I think it's Daniel, I'm not sure, but I think it's Daniel. And he was like, whoever interprets the writing on the wall is gonna receive like this cloak and wada. But there was like something that they received, and that's what I'm getting here. Oh, and also you traveled. You traveled a lot. You were well known. You was well known. You were known to, yeah, to just carry certain information about the world and the universe that people didn't have. I feel like you would get to a place and you would school their like mystics, or you would be there and you would school like their priests or like whatever it is, and you always brought with you like a completely new perspective to certain things. I feel like it sounds like a big responsibility, but it's something that it's in your blood. So when it's time for that part of you to like come out. It just does, basically, is what I'm getting. So that's what I have for you, Pawan. I think that's kind of short reading, but to be honest, I'm not really getting anything else. Mm, yeah, that's what I got for you guys. So I hope that resonated. Later, guys. My pile twos. Okay, welcome to your reading. So you picked the Swiss knife. Like I said, this was a gift for my dad. My dad is literally the epitome of a divine masculine. Like, before I knew like what we now call God, like Yahweh, like I knew my dad. And when I finally understood the concept of a God and Yahweh, it actually made sense to me pretty easily because I was like, oh yeah, like my dad. So yeah, if you guys picked this was knife, here's your reading. Let's get into it. Let's start with the tarot cards. The Knight of Swords, interesting because we do have the knife. So yeah. The Strength card, the Queen of Cups, the King of Earth, the Two of Air, the Four of Water. Okay, so now oracles. Treasure Island. Yang. Yeah. Mirror Guardian. I'm laughing because Yang is the divine masculine aspect of the yin and yang union, right? The yang is the divine feminine and the yin, sorry, the yin is the divine feminine and the yang is the divine masculine. And it's interesting because I just told you guys that story. But anyway, then you've got, can you all see this part down here? No? Okay, cool. Let's move it here and over here. Congratulations and choices. And then you've got the Emperor. We're going to put that there. The Emperor, the Ten of Cups, one of my favorite cards, and the Page of Cups. Okay. What do we got here? What do we got here? What do we have from your past life? So this is a very interesting story. Also juicy. You guys, for pile two, right? I'm getting that in a different timeline, you guys had to make a choice that involved a lover. I'm getting a masculine, like, yeah, kind of like how this reading started. Like, I'm getting, you got the King of Earth, you've got choices. So, this is someone who was not like other men. This is a man that, like, other men were kind of like intimidated by, and women were like overly attracted to because this person represented kind of like the epitome of a man. I'm getting like a Julius Caesar type, archetype here, type of thing. Someone who's strong but also very intelligent. Like someone who's physically strong but also very intellectually intelligent and emotionally intelligent. I'm getting that this person was in love with you, and not only that, they were very, very wealthy. This person is coming across as the King of Earth, as the Emperor, Like, this is someone who was very, 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 very wealthy. And you and this person fell in love, but I'm getting something forbidden here. Because I'm getting that, yeah, with the Two of Air, you had to make a choice. I'm getting that you had to make a choice. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm getting, you didn't choose this person, and there's this sense of regret that like you kind of exited this lifetime with. I mean, I'm going to translate that you died with regret, just so that we're on the same page. This choosing this person would have completely changed your life. It would have freed you from certain limitations that women had in that time. It doesn't matter what you identify as in this life, in that lifetime, you were identifying as a woman. So there were certain restrictions that were put on women in that time. This is very interesting. This is fascinating. So for some of you, you were actually a man in that time. Ha la la with the rainbow. So for some of you, ne, you were actually a man in that time, but you identified personally, secretly, you identified as a woman. And that's why you couldn't choose this person, because this was a man. Like this person was like, physically a man. And you were also physically a man. Like for some of you, keep up with me. And you also like were physically a man, but you identified as female, or, you know, pronouns he, she, her. I mean, she, her, hers. Yeah. Um, and that's why you couldn't choose them. Oh my God. That's why you couldn't choose them. And they couldn't really choose you. And it was like a fucked up story, because you guys, you had the ability to make each other so happy, but the world that you were in at that time, it did not sustain like this kind of relationship. It was not ready. There was no LGBTQ community in the way we have it now, where you have a community like to speak up for you and stand by you. To be honest, in my understanding, it's still kind of hard right now. Like I know there's a community and everything, but as soon as like someone is in a very, prominent position, either in their career or by birth. So for instance, I don't think it would be easy if there was someone in a royal house like a king, and um falling in love with another king. I don't think it would be easy for them to come out. So I think it's easy for people to be like, no, we're in better times, are we? I mean, yes, of course. Yeah, yes, of course. My bad. Yes, of course. But not for everyone. Honestly, not for everyone. People are always like, will say something like, I support this, I support this. Yeah, until it's your king, or until it's your CEO, or until it's, your dad. And then all of a sudden, no, I'm also getting there were kids involved in this situation. Like, these people were both married. You and this person were both married. But yeah, you guys wanted to run away with each other, but like, that was, yeah, no. How does this relate to your life right now? I'm just getting that now you're in a space where you might find that you're very outspoken um, when it comes to issues in the world that restrict people from being who they are. You might find that you're very passionate about that, like about like fighting against that. You're an ally to minorities, you're an ally to the LGBTQ community. Like, you are a kind of person that fights for people's rights if they cannot fight for their rights themselves. Like, you speak for the people that like don't that cannot speak for themselves. And in this life, you might even be a heterosexual man or woman, and people might ask you like, yo, why do you care? Like, why do you care? You're not even this, or you're not even that. And it's like, maybe you ask yourself, like, you don't know why you're so passionate, but I feel like there'll be a thread of this in your life where there's a friend of you, if it's not you yourself, who is part of the LGBTQ community, like, personally. If it's not you, then there's someone close to you, around you, and like, yeah, you're by their side. You're a true ally, because it's in your heart. It's almost like there's a need for you to make this right, this thing that happened in another lifetime for you. Like, there's a real need for you to balance this shit out. Like, just because there's a world where your happiness got taken away from you just because of what people think about something. And you really, really don't want that to happen to other people. Like, it breaks your heart that that could happen to someone else. I'm just getting that, oh my word. You offer like comfort, refuge, allyship, like on again, I'm talking to a true ally here, or someone who is like is part of the community because that's who they are. Like, either, you know, you were born a certain way but you identify in another way, and yeah, that's why this is like so a close thing to your heart. And yeah, I just want to say that in another timeline, this is what's up. This is what was happening. I think what was also so kind of like, okay, also, what this is also talking about is that how you're gonna have another chance. Now I'm gonna get emotional because, wow. You're gonna have a chance. You're gonna have a chance at this. The people I'm talking to, you might have found your person already, but some of you haven't, and you get worried sometimes. You know, you worry about if are you ever gonna find the right person and so forth, because you know, it's like finally the world is in a more comfortable space, like with this topic. And if there was any other lifetime to be able to love who you want to love, this is it. So it's like, I feel like you're like saying to God, there's no ways you would let me miss my boat, right? Like, not in this lifetime. And like, Nabi, you've got the 10 of Cups. You're going to find emotional fulfillment. You're going to be able to be a part of the love that you have dreamt of for a long time, longer than you think. You think you've only been dreaming of it in this life, but you've been dreaming of this kind of love longer than that. You've been dreaming of a society, a community where you can love who you want to love, how you want to love them, and you guys can love each other. And I feel like this lifetime is your treasure island, fam. This lifetime is where you will be supported, or you are supported by the universe, by nature, by your ancestors. They're like, this is your time. This time you don't have to fight. This time you can keep your Swiss knife as a memento to like you remember back in the war, you know, type of thing, but you're not gonna have to use it. You're not gonna have to use your sword this time to fight, because yeah, some of you've already found this, and now you understand. Maybe you felt like you don't deserve the love you have. Maybe you're one of those people that's like, I don't deserve this. How did this happen to me? And yeah, this is how. It's because you've spent lifetimes fighting for people's freedoms, to love whoever they want to love, including this lifetime. And fuck, it's your turn, fam. It's your turn. Okay, that's what I got for you guys. Pile 2. I'll see you later. My pile 3 is you picked the organic essential oil, the tea tree oil. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's do tarot first. Okay, the 9 of Swords. Let's just do the first one. I want to make sure. Okay, so 9 of Swords, 2 of Wands, 3 of Swords, Nine of fire. Sorry, nine of wands, which is, yeah, it's nine of fire in this deck. The sun card. Messenger of wands, which is the page of wands. Messenger of fire, which is the page of wands. You've got the strength, temperance. The knight of cups. Ooh, and the sun card twice. Fledging. Obedience. Mending. Co-create. And the animal guardian. Can you see all of the cards? Yes. Yes. Okay, let's get into your reading. My pile threes. So my pile threes, the story that I'm getting here is that in other lifetimes, or the story that from other lifetimes that you're bringing into this lifetime, or one in particular, is that you have a habit of getting into relationships and forgetting about yourself, like for losing like who you are type of thing. It's almost as if you have like unfulfilled potential from a lot of like past lives or other lifetimes. It's as if you tend to partner up with people. Like it seems like that's your goal as soon as you're as an adult. It's like you need to find someone, marry them, be in a relationship, whatever it is. Like it's as if in your past lives you kind of haven't had any interest in finding out who you are other than how are you compatible with someone else. Again, if you guys have seen Queen Charlotte, the Bridgerton story, Lady Danbury, like when she was young, like she was promised to her husband, I see. So in some lifetimes it wasn't even your choice, but it's like in other lifetimes it was your choice, but you were going off of like the lifetimes where it wasn't even a choice. But anyway, just to finish, Lady Danbury was promised to her husband when she was 3 years old. She was taught all of the things that her husband likes. Imagine this guy is already like a grown man, like not a grown, but he was like in his 20s. And there's a 3-year-old being promised to him, like when she comes of age, this will be your wife type of thing. And so she was taught all his favorite things, his favorite color, his favorite food to be her favorite things, right? So when her husband dies, she has no idea who she is. I just realized that might be what's happening right now. You may have lost a partner through a breakup or through death, and you don't really know who you are with this person gone or with this person not in your space. Like I said, in other timelines, you've had a problem with fully realizing yourself, if that makes sense. It's like you've been taught to realize yourself only in relation to another. And I'm getting that it actually gives you serious anxiety to not be like, in a relationship or to be partnered up or something like that. But I'm getting that this is something you're finally working on, because I'm getting here someone who has decided that like self-love is it's something that you have to get down. I'm getting someone who you might have actually watched Queen Charlotte and recognized yourself in the young Lady Danbury. And I feel like you've made a decision, like, nah, you can't live like this. And we're in a time where more and more people are coming out like through their authenticity, and women no longer have to be attached to a man in particular in order to be seen. It's becoming more and more apparent to women that you can be seen for your own qualities, for your own sense of being. It's becoming more and more apparent to women that you have something to offer just as yourself, other than cleaning, cooking, and childbearing. I'm not saying you don't love those things, right? I'm not saying you don't have to love being a wife, being a girlfriend, or being a mother. Why would I say that? I'm saying that pile three, you guys are just, this is a revelation for you guys, is what I'm getting. Like, people might think that's weird for you, like, yeah, of course, girl, but they don't realize that for you, be it how you were raised, how you saw your parents or your mother figure act within your household, this is a new revelation for you, that you could create a world for yourself that doesn't have to include the recognition of a man. I'm getting that you are majorly talented. You have a specific skill that you are so, like, you're incredible at. And your journey of self-love is going to uncover things like that about you. You're gonna uncover what you're good at. What do you like? Not what does your partner like, and therefore you can like it too in order to make them happy, but what do you like? This doesn't have to be a male-female relationship. With this Two of Wands, you can see these two guys, so don't act like, why does she like putting algae? Look, okay, because the cards tell me, like, they give me the cues to be like, yo, by the way, yeah, you know. So even with this co-creation card, this doesn't have to be a heterosexual relationship, but yeah, basically I'm just getting someone who defines themselves through a relationship, and that for the first time in, like, right now, I'm already drawing the parallel between other timelines and your timeline right now. Basically that right now you're starting to uncover who you are. And not only that, but this is a part of yourself that you can bring into a relationship. It's like you're also tired of non-equal, like, relationships, like where the the power dynamic is, like, out of balance. Like, you're not doing that anymore, where you're seen as less because you're a woman, or because of whatever you are, and then at the same time you're not encouraged. In fact, what's the opposite of encouraged? Like, you're disencouraged? I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not encouraged to find out about yourself. It's as if, like, the people in your life thought that's a waste of time. Why would you do that? You already have a mission, and that mission is to take care of me. That mission is to make sure that I win. So it's very interesting, because I'm getting also, like, careful, because in your past, like, or in your other timelines, I'm getting that your partners have always known what you bring to the table. You have this, like, I'm gonna call it for now, a magical element about you. I'm sure you guys know those people where, like, when you're next to them, like, everything goes right. You know, when we joke, we'll be like, oh, you're my lucky charm. But really, like, there's just those people, man. It's like they draw good things towards you or something. And I'm getting that your partners have seen you as that, and they've always downplayed what you bring to the relationship. In essence, like, who you are as a person, and in every other way. And I'm just getting that this is the time where you just want to find out, like, who you are, right? And like I said, you're going on this journey of self-love. You've got two sun cards, fam. So I'm also, like, I'm getting a realization. You're going to understand, firstly, why the people that you were in a relationship with were threatened.